Hello, my friends. Welcome to another episode of 369, where I get to bring you someone who you want to hear from. I know you all get tired of hearing my voice sometimes, so I bring on some other guests. Doesn't matter what field they're in, I just feel that if what they do can help you and what your goals are, hey, we're bringing them on. So that way you can reach out to them. So I want to welcome my guest today, Heather Black. We're going to be talking about something really cool and special because we're kind of in line in the same field. And I want to show you all you can still collaborate with people who are in a similar field with you. So, as we always say, let's get ready to go live.
Jerusalema ikhaya ilondoloze uhambe nami.
Oh, every once in a while I hear that my body starts moving. I start shaking a little bit. Right? So,
It's a good
hey
it's a
Heather,
good beat. I
welcome.
like it.
Thank you so much. This is one of the things, even before we get started into our little section here, this is one of the things that I talk about when I speak about prepping the audience, prepping people who are going to be involved in it, because people want an experience. They want to know that if I'm going to be in something, right, I want to feel like it's live, not just another Bueller, right? So
Yeah.
I really love that. Thank you so much for being here. So let's get some time on the clock and make sure we got it. We got 8 minutes on there right now. So I'm gonna change that really, really quick and add let's add 2 more minutes really quick. Bam. So let's jump into this. I want to know about more a little bit more about you. I know my audience wants to know a little bit more about you. So let's take about 3 minutes here with you and I and just kind of share about your journey to get where you're at. Tell the people who you are, more of yourself than just the business. We're going to get into that part later. So the floor is yours.
Yeah. Thanks so much for having me today. I'm super excited to be here. So I am a Carolina girl, born and raised in South Carolina. So we were practically neighbors. And I moved to Las Vegas 12 years ago. Almost 12 and a half years ago, to be closer to my family. Everybody had moved out here, and I have been in the event space by accident almost for over 25 years. Well, I got into it by
Wow.
accident. I didn't stay in it by accident, but I have a degree in public relations, and my big dream was to be a senior VP of PR for some major firm or whatever. But God had other plans, right?
Okay, okay.
And God was like, no. And so I ended up landing a job that had some PR, some marketing, and some meeting planning in it. And I loved the meeting planning part. I had never heard of meeting planning before that. I was like, I
Wow.
don't know what this is, but it really just works the way my brain works.
Yeah.
And I'm just super excited. I love it. I love the power of one to many. I love creating events and helping people impact more lives.
Yeah.
You can have one-to-one calls all day, but you can only do what, 8, 10, how there's a limit, right? But
Right.
when you get in a room with 50 people, you get in a room with 100, 1,000. I've done rooms with,
Yes.
you know, thousands of people in them. That impact can truly change the world. And so once I got into events, I stayed in events. I've been there a long time. And then in 2020, God was like, okay, well, now we're going to start your own business. And I was like, you're so cute, but no, we're not doing that.
Everyone thinks they have a plan until they get hit with it. And you just said some really interesting things. And I got excited when you said that. And so we're going to get ready to jump into what you do and how people can reach out to you. But what happened just now is you said one to many, right? And I used to think, and still do, but if you can get in a room full of the law of averages says if you get in a room
Yes.
full of 100, 200 people, you have a better chance of closing a deal or doing something versus the one-to-ones and so forth. So when you said that, I was like, yeah, that hit it right on the spot. Now I want to take these next few minutes and I'm going to hit you solo on this where you can now talk to the audience and anyone who watches this and tell them why, what you do, how what you do helps, how they can find you and work with you. So I want you to take these next few minutes and just kind of talk to the people and tell them how you can help them. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready for
All
this.
right, here we go. It's yours.
So God had put this desire on my heart to start my own business, and I did. And my original thought was I was just going to help people plan their meetings, plan their retreats and conferences. I would help them kind of manage their speaking engagements. But as I started working with my clients, I started working primarily with mission driven solopreneurs, small businesses, and nonprofits. I realized that what's really missing in the industry is an understanding of how to add this to your business in a way that isn't overwhelming. It doesn't lead to burnout. So I kind of created a signature process I call the Phoenix Effect. My business name is Phoenix Collaborations. And so what we do when you work with me is we get strategic, organized, and profitable. Whether your goal is to get on more stages, whether your goal is to have more events, bigger events, long 7-day international retreats, we really dive into your business, look at where you are and where you want to be, and we create a strategic plan to get you where you want to be. We put some systems and some tools in place so that you can truly organize yourself because there's a lot of details that go into planning successful events, to getting on more stages. And then we look at profitability because what you want to do is make sure that everything you're doing is driving revenue into your business. And that revenue can come from a variety of ways. But what I try to do is make sure that you have the systems in place to be able to evaluate every speaking engagement, every event to make sure that it was profitable for your business. Because a lot of times what happens is you like, maybe your business coach even told you, oh, you should do events or you should do speaking. And so you try and you end up Googling yourself some overwhelm. You get stuck. You don't know what, you're not getting the results you want. Maybe you put on an event and you didn't get the people in the seats. You didn't make as much money as you expected. And a lot of times you're like, well, I don't know what I did wrong. Well, you probably didn't do anything wrong, right? What we don't know is what will cost us time and money. And so I really come in and help you put something in place so you can get to where you want to be with your events and your speaking and your business. And you can do it in a way that isn't overwhelming. You don't go to burnout and you can really have more impact and more income in your business because that's really what we're doing this for, right? So, my mission is to make the world a better place. I know the power of events and speaking can do that. And I love helping clients be able to do that in a way that feels good to them.
I absolutely love when you're bringing it down to the basics. And here's why: it's because you said, okay, so maybe a coach told you go out and do it and so forth. And a lot of people go out and do it, but they don't have a structure. They don't have the ABC 1, 2, 3 plan. And then they say, well, this doesn't work. Or, you know, no, it works because other people are doing it. It's just that they've had someone to teach them, someone to guide them, someone to hold their hand through it. And that's where, like, where you come into that place,
Yep.
as if what I'm hearing, right?
Absolutely, that's where I come in. And a lot of people they end up buying an expensive course. You know, they spend several $1,000s on a course, and they get in the course. Yeah, I mean, me too. I mean, sign me up. And a lot of things, 85% of people don't finish those self-paced courses, and a lot of times it's because we get stuck because we don't know how to move past. And when you're looking at courses for speaking, when you're looking at courses for events, they are not qualifying you in any way. They're just selling you a course. They're not
Yeah.
looking at your business and being like, "Are you ready to get on these stages? Are you ready to have this 7-day international retreat?" They just want you to have the course. And again, some of these courses are phenomenal when you're ready for them. But I'm here to help you get ready for that because there is a process and a foundation that you need in place to do that.
It is. And, I was looking for, and I didn't have it because I have this overlay, what we call, that goes over the screen. And it's a funny thing where I created, and the guy, he was hosting or trying to host a virtual event. And then afterwards, he's like, I'm not doing this anymore. It's too much. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it before we end just to show you because it's really funny. But let me ask you this here then, because you and I, we met before. We're working on a potential collaboration on a couple of things. And I want to really impress upon people who may be thinking that collaborations, there's a lot of people who are afraid of it, right? They say, I don't want to collaborate with someone else because someone else might take my business or something. I'm like, that's the wrong thinking, at least in my mind. No one who has made success, and success is different for different people. It doesn't
Absolutely.
directly relate to finances, right? But no one who's successful will tell you that they made it by themselves.
That's right.
They got a team around them. They got people, masterminds, people they can run ideas by, all kind of things. Even if you don't directly do a collaboration together, and this is my saying, and then I'm gonna pass it to you. Um, I love saying this. It's lonely at the lap. It's lonely at the top. It's lonelier at the laptop. Find
Ooh.
like-minded people. Otherwise, you will burn out. You're going to be here at the laptop all day, switching hats. You're the marketer, you're the copywriter, and you're going to like this doesn't work. So, what are some thoughts of yours in why you think or why just what's going through your mind?
So I think collaboration is one of the most powerful tools that you have as a business owner. And the reason is because you don't know everything, right? Like there are so many things that I don't know. And so when you collaborate with someone else, not only do you expose their audience to you and vice versa, but you also expose your audience to things that aren't your expertise. And you can elevate what you are sharing with your audience. And really and truly, collaboration is greater than competition any day of the week. And when we collaborate, we all become better. And I mean, it's one of the reasons that collaborations is in the name of my business is because I know how powerful it can be. I love collaborating with other solopreneurs. I have a couple in the works that I'm super excited about, including the one with you. Um, it's just powerful to come together and to show other people that we're not here to compete with one another. We're here together to work to help you achieve your goals because that's really what it's all about. So I'm a big
So
believer in
true.
collaborations.
Absolutely. And we're gonna get ready to wrap it up in a second, but I truly feel, as you just said, for an example, we're in a similar space. And as you and I were talking, and like I told you, I was like, organization skills, not this guy. Creation skill, totally different. So we were like, can we possibly do that? And we're working at it. And it might work and it might not work, but we're making the effort, right? We're trying,
Yep.
because if you don't, you're gonna sit there and always be like, I wonder, I wish I could. Whoever's watching this, reach out. Someone, I had people say, well, why would you bring on people who are similar to maybe what you do, Lion? Aren't you afraid they're going to work with them? I'm like, no, because my whole thing is I want them to work. And if they are listening to me and it's not working, maybe you say the same exact thing and it clicks for them because you say it in a different way that relates to the way that their brain works, right? My brain works totally different. And my bottom line is I just want whoever is watching this, who's ever listening, I want them to learn, whether it's from me, whether it's from you, it's going to come back tenfold, right? If you're helping someone else, someone's going to remember that. So, anyways, that's just my little thing on it. I'm gonna give you the last word. I'm gonna put you on solo, and if you anything else you want to give some tips or some ideas or whatever to the audience members out there, the floor is now yours.
Thanks for having me today, Lion. This has been great. And I will just say to the audience that's listening, if you are thinking about or you've tried to do events, you've tried to do speaking, and you're like, maybe I'm just not ready, um, it's probably not that you're not ready. Like, don't wait until you're ready. Start where you are. And if you need somebody to help you with that, if you need just some guidance on figuring out where you should even start, I'm happy to do that. You can find my website, it's phoenixcollaborations.com. I'm on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, all the places. Feel free to reach out to me and just be like, hey, can you help? I do a complimentary 30-minute consult call and we can get you started in the right direction. Don't wait till you're ready. Start where you are.
Ooh, I like that. That sounds like a t-shirt. Sounds like a t-shirt. No, but it is true. And it's so funny because we say the similar things and we say them kind of different. Like so for those who do know me, I'm a retired Marine. I'm very direct. I'm still working on a tactfulness, right? I tell people, just get the job done. I tell my son a lot too. I said, don't give me excuses, just execute, right? And so I'm a little rough around the edges, whereas maybe you're a little bit more like that soft, gentle, like kind of thing. I say just start ugly. Just press record. Or let me do it the way I normally do it. So to give you an example, so I tell people just push record. Had to put the little
Amen.
beep in there, right? Had to put the little beep in there because that's who I am. But hey, thank you so very much for this here. I appreciate it. I'm enjoying these little quick little hitters. And again, all the main thing about this is just to introduce you to Heather so that you can set up that time to speak to her and find out a little bit more exactly how what she does can work for you. The first step is making the call, right? Making the calendar link, getting on there, brainstorming some ideas with her to see, because you might not see the vision and she may go like, ooh, this works for, so set up a call with her. All right. Thank you everyone for stopping in. Heather, hang on for me 1 second. I'm gonna come right back to you. Okay. Thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching another episode of 369, the pilot series, right? This is the second episode. We're getting better. We're learning your input when you write into us, kind of telling us what you're looking for, having a coach on or something like that. That helps out tremendously. So we sincerely appreciate it. Thanks once again, VCA Academy. And we teach you the art of going live.